AI has made life so boring. The fact that you don't need to learn skills anymore. It's convenient, sure. It's convenient, but it's boring. It's just so boring. It's so underwhelming. It takes the spice of life out. It makes life so bland, so basic. Like, let me explain to you what I mean. I was just watching a documentary on, you know, the movie Inception? Well, it was like how the VFX artists made some of those effects. And what really got me was when they showed this VFX scene where the city, and everybody remembers this if you've seen this, the city just starts folding over itself. And you can see every detail in the building. You can see particles. You can see, I guess it's just like looking at that, like, scene and knowing that, like, it was all made by humans. And they had to actually come up with their own proprietary processes to make that effect. And that effect was a whole thing. That it was a whole thing. It was a whole problem. It was a whole goal. It was an obstacle that man had to learn how to overcome. Just knowing that's what makes you go, wow, like, it's awe-inspiring to look at something like that. Like, it's so awe-inspiring to look at VFX shots that were like so incredible and completely groundbreaking. And, you know, and what's the most crazy part is, like, just looking at like all the processes they had to do, the computer programs. They're like different pipelines. Like, there's a whole pipeline and flow chart to make that scene come together. Like, that's the result of so many different physics simulations, so many different, man, dude, I can't even convey it. For it to all end up in that, what's the word for when all, I forgot, but there's a program towards the end where you put them all into one scene. You put all of your elements that you've rendered into one scene, and then they all fit seamlessly together. Sometimes they would even have to make programs that were completely proprietary just to solve the one problem, the one VFX problem that they had. So when you look at all of that and how much effort goes into making a masterpiece, that there's not one artifact, there's only maybe a couple of human errors, maybe there's a couple of Easter eggs. To see, like, something that so many people built together, it's beautiful and it's awe-inspiring. And to this day I still have problems. I still have a hard time with the way that it doesn't, the way that there aren't really challenges anymore. Like we live in a world where, man, now I sound like one of those people. We live in a society. That's not what I mean. But it's like we live in uh, an economy where all that matters is the outcome. All that matters is the output. And you can do things that get you the output that you desire for less effort. You can make a website with Claude. You can do it all, and it will give you the same outcome that you wanted to begin with. But I just find it so tragic that I guess I just find it so boring that the only problem that we seem intent on solving anymore is how to make AI better. And I guess that would be the logical conclusion. But I'm just kind of sad. I just miss the days when there was an AI, and I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be somebody that doesn't move on with the times, but my life has felt even less meaningful since, the things that I used to do, basically, it's like I don't need to do them anymore. I use AI sometimes, guys, I use Grok for researching things that aren't easy to find for specific questions. I'm the type of person that has a million questions in my head and has since a kid. And a lot of the times there were questions that Google couldn't answer because they were too specific, or, and that's actually been good. It's been cool. But there are also questions that I could find out now that I was just too lazy. And I end up just asking Grok instead of researching it myself. The truth is, if I researched it myself, it would take 5-10 minutes. But if I ask Grok, it takes 30 seconds. And so I guess it's kind of depressing and boring, honestly, not solving. Okay, I don't know where that water came from. It's boring and depressing not having problems to solve the same way anymore, not having these big goals anymore, because AI can just do it. And you can try to just do it anyways, but it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore. Like, this is the economy of ideas. This is the economy of media, where you have to make a video on a trending topic. Let's say you wanted to make a TikTok edit or something. You can do an effect. You could do a VFX effect, right, on your own. Make it from absolute scratch. And it would probably give you meaning, and you'd probably be very proud of what you made. But it might take you so long that by the time you post it, you miss the optimal time to post. And That's crazy. I've never heard that before. Somebody who used AI to do the same effect that, any real artist, not to be pretentious, but any real artist can look at it and see artifacts and see that it just looks like crap because it has no real thumbprint to it, has no personal identity to it, it has no imprint on it, it has no personality on it. The thing is that it will still be 80% as good, right? According to the average person, and that's the video that will take off. That's the video that will make the money. That's the video that, because it's about timing now. And so honestly, bro, if it's just me, I feel like life's just gone to such dystopian shit ever since AI got big with ChatGPT. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of people don't know that I'd been following machine learning since 2016. I used to watch 2-minute papers back then. And I actually used to be really interested and excited about AI, but it's just empty. It's just boring. It's just boring because I know it's going to get better. And one flaw about me is I feel like if something is going to be self-defeating, then what's the point of doing it? And that's just a thing that I struggle with. And I've struggled with that my whole life. And I just feel like, what skills should I try to learn anymore? Considering AI will get to the point where it can replicate what I do. For example, I want to write a book. And I don't think that currently AI can write a long book well, not cohesively, right? But who's to say by the time I finish writing the book, people can't just knock it off? And who's to say people can't just copy it, knock it off? Who's to say people can't just come up with some idea, tell the AI to do it, and the AI actually writes a decent book, right? A good book that people will read. And the idea just happens to be more trendy than my idea. I guess it's kind of just like, sometimes I feel like, what is the point of this? And nobody seems to really care about it. But what I was trying to get to with the main point of this video was that AI has made life so boring and so empty to me. It's the lack of things like that VFX shot in Inception, where you look at it and you go, everything here was made painstakingly. And it has soul to it for that. And I just find generation boring. I find stuff that doesn't require anything out of the people that make it so boring. In fact, I even kind of find it despicable. It kind of makes me mad when people make something that didn't require any effort, any commitment, any time, any passion. It just makes me, it makes me mad because, like, I don't know. I don't even know why it makes me mad. I guess it just makes me mad because I'm not mad at them. It makes me sad because I knew what it was like one time when people made garbage, dude. And it was still so much better than this AI stuff because a person made it, you know? I guess it's kind of just like the corporation feel. Like, you know that soul crushing feeling of being in a corporate office where there is no soul in this building, there's no soul in this organization. These people in upper management have no soul. This entity has no soul. Its only purpose is to make money. There's no love of higher level consciousness. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. There's no love of, there's no real purpose, bro. And what I'm trying to convey is that life in a world where everybody makes things using AI is empty and depressing for me. And that's because when AI is incorporated in everything, nobody needs to do anything with any difficulty anymore. Nobody has unifying challenges. Nobody has a greater goal that they work towards. Nobody feels the feeling of reward from working hard at something for a long time and finally getting it accomplished. Instead, life feels like this soulless, and I say life feels like that because AI and automation is kind of just seeping into every aspect of society at this point. And yeah, life just feels like this soulless corporate entity, and it gives you the same feeling. The AI being used and everything gives me the same feeling as being in a corporate office, existential dread, that there's no greater goal, there's no greater unifying goal, there's no greater purpose, that everything is just to generate, that everything is just to make money. And it's sad and it's hard coming from a society, like a generation like me, where I grew up with Vine, where everything was made by a person, even if it was garbage. What mattered was the thought, the writing. What people made wasn't generated. It was them sharing an extension of themselves by creating, because creating stems from your personality, and your personality stems from every experience that you as a unique individual has ever had. That's why you are you. I guess the younger generation will probably not know what I'm talking about, especially in a couple of years. But there was a time when life was a little more vibrant than this. Because life just kind of feels like a corporate money-making machine. And it already did before, but we had art. Yeah, it already did before, but we had art, man. That was what we used. We had art. Art was the thing that made the world feel human still. And the tech bros, it's not just them, whatever. The people that made, it's not their fault really, but for some reason they went after art first. That's pretty sad, bro. They went after everything that made humans human. It almost feels like it was done for a purpose. It just feels so evil that the first thing they would go after is everything that makes us feel human. Art, music. I don't know. Writing too. And there are many, many more. I just can't think of them right now, but you know, when we used to have like a creative goal, it would unify us. We'd make a team. We'd have to all work on something together. There would be writers, there would be co-writers, and we would make something together. But now there's no unifying goal. Anyone can do anything, and they feel empowered by it. But they didn't put in those hours, bro. Like, that's why I respect people in other fields that I'm not good at. I've done some VFX work. I used to make stuff in Blender. I did an advertisement for some headphones for a company that I learned how to use Blender to make it. But when I see VFX artists, for example, Corridor Crew, and this is actually why I'm making this video, because Corridor Crew, seeing all those creatives, bro, work in one place together just made me so sad, bro. Like, I used to want to be a VFX artist, bro. Like, I don't know why, but every time I see a video by them and I see a bunch of creative people that have like amazing skills, it wrecks me, bro, because that's my dream life. And that's what I thought I'd be doing. This is embarrassing, bro. I'm not crying, okay? I'm actually not crying though. That's what I thought I'd be doing by now. That was always my dream. And that's why it's hard to see, bro. The feeling of like people that like have such a passion for like something, and then they're all so happy and they're all just working together and they're all working on a common goal together. It's still alive with them, bro. That's why it wrecks me. That was my dream, bro. Like, yeah. I hope their house, I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling at this point. basically, though, that's what I'm talking about. When people have a common goal, and they would work on stuff together. To me, that was the most fulfilling thing I could ever do. And that's why Rex me to see Corridor Crew's house, or their studio, because, like I said, that was my dream. And that's where I thought I'd be by now when I was in college. That was my dream my whole life. Anyways, I've been rambling a bit too long now. I hope you guys get the point of my video. Hope you see what I'm trying to convey. Peace.